We're starting off with the rims, using a product called CarPro Iron X. This is a rust remover and basically metal component remover. You spray it on, get it on all over the rim and get it real soaked in. When the tire starts to have a real pink reaction or purple reaction, then you just wash the tire all off. I usually start with using CarPro's Multi-X on all the tire sides. Just soak it in there, use a quite hefty amount of product. And then I usually use a regular disc brush to just scrub all the sides of the tire. You need to make sure you clean this up really well, so you can use a tire coating later on, and it will stick way better if you have a real clean tire. Now we need to start shampooing the tire. This is the hard part. It's good to have like one of these kitchen draining or bottle cleaners. And there's more specific products as well that are made just to clean these tires. Very similar to this, but this works just as well. Make sure to get a lot of foam on the tool, and then you just push it in between the rims carefully to scrub out all the dirt that's in between. You can see all the dirt that's coming away from in between. Regular sponge, this is the one I use for the tires. Always the same for the tires, never use this one on the rest of the car. Tires are way dirtier and you will most likely end up with getting scratches on your car. Just rub it in real precise to get all the dirt out of all of the holes. Dry off the towel. Make sure you get all the water off. CarPro Elixir. We're not sponsored, by the way, so hit the subscribe button now so we can get some more cool products for you and show around. So I find this one to be one of the greatest products that CarPro ever made. It's basically a paint sealant kind of like replacement for wax, but it's really easy to apply. It's a bit overkill to use them on the rims, but I found it to be really effective to get off the dirt for a longer term of period after you've washed the car. So this one, just spray on a little bit, and in this case, less is more. So don't use too much, and then instantly wipe it into every part of the wheel. And now for the part that makes me feel like tire cleaning and rim cleaning is worth it all. This is a pearl coating from CarPro as well, and this is basically just a tire coating. You can also use it when you mix it up with more water. You can use it for panels and plastic details, and also on the interior. It's a great product. So this one you usually could have an applicator for, but I find the sponge to work as well. So I just add product on the sponge, soak it in there, and then I apply it to the whole side of the tire. When you apply tire coating, you should make sure that there is no white strips left. Now we just let it dry, and then we need to take the tar off. CarPro's Tar X, great product, not sponsored. Use this on the lower side of the whole vehicle if it's really dirty. This one hasn't been cleaned properly in a while, so let's make this one real clean as possible. Tar X you don't want on your plastic or what could you say rubber details on your car. because it dries them out. So keep it on the lower side of the car and skip just about like in the middle of the door or the middle of the car. Exhaust pipes always get real dirty. Wouldn't like to have a dirty AMG bumper. So let's get the diffuser clean as well. This removes all kind of dirt, including wax. So if you have a waxed car, it's preferable to not use any tar removing substances. Try to skip all the rubber detailing. Just get close area. The front doesn't necessarily get a lot of tar on it, but let's do it for the video's sake in case. Then we switch to multi-X, multi-purpose cleaner. This one can be used on the whole car. There is a dilemma between if multi-purpose cleaner should be used on glass or not, but for the safety reasons we don't use it on glass and lights and so on, but on the rest of the car. Just keep going from where you left with the tar material. And this one doesn't affect the plastic and rubber list as much. So feel free to just soak the car in and let it sit for a while. Important part is never let any of these two dry into your car or to its paint job, because they can be a real hassle to get off. The multi-purpose cleaner is really effective against insects, pollution and so on. So it's real nice to use a lot of in the front and on the hood. So it rain over us there, and then we leave it to sit just for a while. Now we see that actually the sun is starting to shine a bit in through the door. So we need to make sure that we wash this off before the sun dries it up. For sponge in the car, I use microfiber cloth glove. It's great to remove every dirt, and it's real nice to swipe across the whole car. And trust me, if you wash your car by yourself often, this is a worthwhile investment. When you shampoo your car, first of all, make sure your shampoo suits your car great. This is a shampoo without any additions. There's a neutral pH level, and there's no wax in this one. Also, when you move your glove around the car, you're not supposed to use any pressure at all. It's better to just slide the glove across all the panels. So just don't use any pressure, because in case you get some dirt in the glove and you use pressure towards the car, you're going to get scratches. There is no specific order to do this while sponging your car, starting from downsides to upwards or upwards to down. So I prefer to start up and work my way down. This is going to take off the least bit of dirt that you possibly could find in a car. And in case it doesn't take everything off, then you just repeat the process. Fill up a new bucket and go at it. And go again until you get all of the dirt off. And for a little bit of more of high-end detailing, you can buy these car cleaning brushes. They're really, really soft, and they do not contain any metal parts. The most important part, like, you can use any brush you like as soon as it's soft and doesn't include metal parts. And then you start rubbing in all these vents that are really hard to get to points. You get all the little dirt out of here. I would say this is more like a high-end kind of detailing, and you most likely won't have time to do this every time you clean your car. But since of the video and since we're going to backs, we apply all the washing methods we can to get this car really clean and shiny. With the brushing technique, you get all the dirt out of the small gapes that are in these bends. Most of the bends have these small holes in the air intakes, and these ones can be really hard to get real clean. Now the old shampoo is gone, and now it's for the most important step of the cleaning and washing: drying. Never forget to dry your car. No pressure on the car, like strictly none. I just drag the towel over the whole car. If you just leave it drying, then you're going to have all of these water puddles. They're going to dry in, and it's going to leave marks. Really ugly water marks. So never skip drying your car. No pressure. I just put it against and drag slowly through the whole car. So we decided to move the car outside because the lighting inside was terrible and we don't need a pressure washer anymore. So now we're going to treat the car, this time with some wax. If you're in a rush or something, you can use Elixir or some easier coatings. But I find this Megar's wax really effective. It's not sponsored, it's my honest opinion, and this is a great wax both to apply. It's really beginner friendly. Like, you don't need to be some kind of professional waxer or whatever. It's more like rub it on, wipe it off, let it be, and it's really effective. I'll show you on the half of the hood how to apply the wax, and then we'll compare it with water versus the non-treated side. Always, after you make this big cleaning, you should treat your paint jobs in some way. It doesn't have to be wax necessarily, but something that protects the paint job. So when applying wax, you start with long slides, rub in the wax, and then in the wax there is veins towards this side, towards this side, towards this side. So you need to make a movement that gets this wax into every single detail in the paint. So you rub it in, make the opposite movement that you just applied with. If you feel that the wax is kind of sticking and it's hard to remove, then you had the wax on for too long. And it really differs a lot how long the wax has to be on. But in this particular case, pretty much rub it in, wipe it off, and then move on to the next pan. If you're new to waxing, I would recommend to just stick to real small areas in the beginning and then move up to bigger and bigger areas at the time. Now we roll it to the other direction. And then one. Take the towel, wipe off every excess wax. And the difference between the waxed side and the non-waxed side. It's pretty clear. The wax catches up all the water into small particles that then blow off in the wind. Meanwhile, the non-waxed side just spreads it out. Now it's time for the final touches. We're going to add some tire shine on the sides of the tires. I just add it into the sponge and sponge it around. In my opinion, this is the most important step of washing a car. The small details that makes a car wash from being alright to being great. And off camera we did the final touch up using elixir and microfiber. We wiped off every single bit of dirt from the door sides. And this is the final result.